Israel did Lebanon yesterday, Tuesday.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm still learning, as you know, guys. So this gentleman right here is has 3 million followers. He's a very young gentleman. His name is Guy Christensen, and well, I tumbled on it by mistake. I mean, I wasn't even looking for him. It just popped up on my screen, and I just started laughing. Um, Half the things he says are lies, or he doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's a shame. And It's about what happened on April 8th in Lebanon. When Israel struck about 100 bombs in 10 minutes. And the way he presents it is complete lie. It's a sham. And he pretends that everything he's saying is true. But as you will see, you will realize it's more as an assumption than anything else. So let me let me start the video, and I will stop it, and I'll put in my comment. Let's go.
Don't know where I am, but you need to know that what Israel did Lebanon yesterday, Tuesday, April 8th, 2026, is on 9/11 fucking level. They hit Lebanon, Beirut, with 100 bombs within 10 minutes. The hospitals are literally overflowing with blood. There's not enough capacity to keep up. It's fucking insane. And you know why Israel did this is because Donald Trump pretended to sign this ceasefire deal. And Israel could not fucking stand it. And so they went public and they said, fuck the ceasefire. We're just going to bomb Lebanon to shit.
Okay. Well, first of all, yes, what happened in Lebanon is tragic. Nobody's going to deny it. There are rumors that it was because they wanted to stop a probable coup d'etat. Is it true? Is not true? I'm not here to say, because this is what I've seen and I heard on the social media. But to actually go this far to lie or to assume what is behind everything. First of all, Netanyahu had a vision from the start about South Lebanon, and it has been provoked by Hezbollah. Now, the gentleman here probably doesn't care if Hezbollah started the war. All he cares about is to dehumanize the Israelis, and especially the Zionists, and then claim victimhood, as he usually does. But he will refuse to admit that Hezbollah started the fight, and they wanted to do this to help Gaza. So he lied. Again, the treaty, there was confusion, and you have Pakistan that says Lebanon was included, and you have the Israelis and the United States that it wasn't included. And I don't think Lebanon was included because Israel wants to finish with Hezbollah once and for all. So let's continue.
And that's exactly what they did. They killed over at least 300 people and over 1,200 others injured. Like, Netanyahu literally came out and spoke, I think in English even, that he was doing this to Lebanon to destroy the temporary ceasefire between the United States and Iran.
And again, I was intrigued when he said that. I said, maybe he's right. Maybe he said it openly. So I looked up all over the internet, started typing, and search on Google and other searches. I even used AI to, just to verify if it is true. And everything I looked, nothing, not even one word was mentioned. Not in Israeli media, not in Jazeera, not in Al-Manar, not in anything that they confirmed that Netanyahu said that he's gonna do it, and he just wants to wipe out Lebanon. This is not true. And when somebody lies like that, I can't trust him. I can't give him credibility, because if he doesn't back up what he says, he's just another loudspeaker of Iran. So let's continue. It gets worse.
Just as Netanyahu has visited Donald Trump 3 times, at least in person, in the United States over the last year to push our empire towards this war. And Netanyahu bombed Iran while they were negotiating with my empire.
Understood? His empire. And he's going to say it twice. But he hates imperialism. And he hates Donald Trump. Anything that he can say to bring Donald Trump down, he will do it. The truth isn't his priority. The truth is to bring down the Trump administration and dehumanize the Israelis. Period.
2 times. 2 times already. Israel doesn't fucking want peace. They want to drag the United States into war with Iran. It is like... It used to be hard to try to explain to some people, but it's so blatant and obvious right now. Pray for...
This is his interpretation. This is his interpretation. There is nothing that was said or even proven that Israel wanted or dragged the United States to war. They had a plan. Did the plan work or didn't work? That's a different story. But they had a plan to overthrow the Islamic regime. Now, in case this gentleman doesn't know, but for 47 years, the Islamic regime of Iran, 1979, has been creating chaos and mayhem, not only in the Middle East and the Arab countries, but also in Europe, the United States, South America. Everywhere they went, they create mayhem and chaos. Let's not forget what happened to Syria, what happened to Yemen, what happened to Iraq. They did it. It's the Iranians that did it by the proxies. It's not the proxies only. They take their orders only from Tehran, not from anybody else. And Hezbollah is the same thing. He probably doesn't remember, but lately, when Ali Khamenei died, who passed away, they elected Mujtaba, his son. And right away, the Hezbollah pledged allegiance to Khamenei Mujtaba, not to Lebanon, not to its constitution. And this is the difference. A militia does not have the right to decide about war and peace on a country. Now, this gentleman doesn't understand this part because for him, he thinks probably that Hezbollah is loved by all Lebanese. Everybody loves them. And it's the only force that can stop Israel. He has been proven wrong. But he cannot stand saying the truth because if he says the truth, he loses face in front of the millions that he lied to for the past 2 years. Now, this guy is a snake. This guy is a liar. This guy is just a pure hatred. Period. Period. Let's continue.
Lebanon, hands off Lebanon. They're being invaded by the IDF, and the IDF is trying to ethnically cleanse all of the South.
False. Again, if they wanted to cleanse all the South, they wouldn't send pamphlets, they wouldn't call, they wouldn't advise people by media and every possible means for them to move out. And most of them, not to say all of them, have moved out from the South. Okay, and they went to Beirut and other areas. Let's continue.
Where over 1 million people, 2 million people live. And take it and claim it as part of the Greater Israel Project.
False again. False again. I'm going to explain to you how, if they want to have the Great Israel Plan, I'm going to explain to you. In 1948, Lebanon was part of the 5 countries that attacked Israel. Israel went into Lebanon, deep inside South Lebanon. Yes, there was a massacre. Nobody's going to deny that. But there is another thing. If they wanted really to annex South Lebanon and take it for Greater Israel, they could have done it. In 1948, they did it. In 1978, they didn't. 2000, 1982 to 2000, they occupied South Lebanon. No discussion about it. I won't even go there because it's true. But in 2000, they retreated. They didn't lose a war. They retreated by order of the government of the time, by Ehud Barak, if I'm not mistaken. Then again, in 2006, they retreated. Now, if the gentleman doesn't know how a project or annexation works, it's very simple. It's 3 points. You attack, you create a war, you attack your neighbor, you occupy your neighbor, and you annex your neighbor. Your neighbor. You don't you don't retreat. You do not retreat. And I have been hearing this since I was a kid in the 1960s about that great Israel project. And yet, people think that Israel and Lebanon are enemies. Actually, it's between Hezbollah and Israel. Because in 1949, for you people who do not know the truth, in 1949, an armistice was signed between Lebanon and Hezbollah. Sorry about that. It's okay. It will be funny. Uh, with Israel, and it held for 2 decades. 2 decades. Why was it broken? Very simple. You can go check it out. Don't believe me. Go check it out what it was broken. In 1967 and 1968, the PLO, part of the PLO, the armed PLO, was already in Lebanon. Okay. We opened our doors for them to come, but we were stupid enough to let them keep their weapons. We were stupid enough. And we had a weak president at the time. I'm not going to name him, but people know who he was. And what happened is that they went to Greece, Athens, and they blew up an El Al civil airplane. So, since Lebanon opened its doors to the PLO, the Israeli said, "Oh, you opened your doors to the PLO, you're responsible for their actions," which is probably another country would do the same, because if you can't stop armed people from doing something, well, I'm sorry, you're responsible for it. And that's what happened. I'm not happy that it happened. They bombarded the airport of Beirut, where 3 Middle East airline planes were destroyed, completely destroyed. That's when the spiral of Lebanon to go to hell has started. Then again, in 1969, the Cairo Accord, drafted by Lebanese, Egyptian, and some people from the Arab League at the time. Okay, not the same Arab League that we have now. It's the same Arab League that of the time. They actually forced Lebanon to sign it. It was under Gamal Abdel Nasser, I think a year before he passed away. And the Arab League, our Arab brothers of the time, forced us to sign and give the south of Lebanon to the PLO. And at the same time, the army could not anymore visit or do incursions or go inside the Palestinian camp to see if there are weapons, confiscate weapons and stuff like that. And anything that would come through the customs under the name of PLO, Fatah or PLO or Yasser Arafat or whatever we want to name it, the FPLP, the Middle East custom did not have the right to open the containers. This is how weak Lebanon was at the time. And then what happened? The civil war started. The civil war did not start because Muslim and Christian. The actual reason it started, it's because the Christian made a mistake not to talk to the Muslim side and try to figure it out. Because you see, an influx of 800,000 Palestinians in Lebanon, where already the balance of the all the religions or all the ethnicity that was present was very fragile already. So this influx gave more power, technically, to the other side. And the other side didn't have a militia. So what they said, they talked to Arafat. The Druze were involved. They talked to Arafat to be their army. And how this is how the civil war started. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not accusing. I'm not pointing finger. I'm saying facts. And this is how Lebanon went to hell. Now, if some people don't believe me, go check it out yourselves on the internet. Don't ask me. Don't ask people like him or like Soleimani, like Sheikh Suleiman or Steve Sweeney or whoever they are, because they don't know nothing about Lebanon. They're just repeating what the IRGC are telling them to repeat. There is another a factor that you have to take into account. Every battle, every invasion with Israel that happened with Israel was because of another militia, armed militia, that decided if Lebanon would go to war or not. The PLO, Syrian factions, and now Hezbollah. But technically speaking, okay, the Lebanese and the Israelis did not fight. Yes, there were tensions, there were incursions during those 20 years or some. Yeah, there were, no problem, but there was no actual war, no declaration of war. So anybody that tells you otherwise is lying. Anybody that some people haven't even set foot in Lebanon and do not know the complexity of the geopolitics within Lebanon, they cannot give you a clear picture. Now you have people that love Hezbollah and they think that Iran is the savior. That's their right. I have no problem with that. But for me, somebody who allies himself with a militia that decides if your country can go to war or not and gave its allegiance to the Iranian, I mean, not Iran, I'm sorry, to the Islamic regime of Iran, for me, they are traitors. Now they're saying that we are traitors because we want to have peace with Israel. It has been 51 years on the 13th of April, 51 years that Lebanon has been in wars and outside wars. Not by the Lebanese government, by other people that have other agendas that doesn't concern Lebanon from A to Z. And that what people do not understand. Hezbollah represents a fraction of the Lebanese. The majority of the Lebanese wants Hezbollah to be disarmed, even from their own community. They want them to be disarmed, and they want them to be out of the government because they have anything they have done to Lebanon is wars, political assassination, contraband, uh, like allegations. I'm not going to say it's true because I'll be lying. Allegation of human traffic, allegation of children traffic, and sex traffic. Now, is it true? Not true? I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not going to say it, but this is the allegation. But the other truth is that they produce drugs and they distribute drugs, which is known as Captagon, and they have their Central America headquarters is in Venezuela under Maduro. It was under Maduro, and this is how Maduro held his army with him because he used to pay them in narco dollars because Hezbollah would give him a cut, and Hezbollah was laundering money for the four biggest cartel in South America. I'm not talking about suppositions. There are documentaries about it. There is a paper trail about it. So Hezbollah is not for Lebanon. Hezbollah is fighting for Iran, for the Islamic regime of Iran. It's fighting for the Wilayat al-Faqih. It's like a caliphate. It's like a caliphate, like the ISIS caliphate, but not that extreme, but it's an ISIS caliphate. It's like the ISIS caliphate. This is what Hezbollah is. It has never had Lebanese interest in it. Now, other people tell me, what did Hezbollah do to make Lebanon prosper or thrive socially and economically? Not to his people, to Lebanon. They're part of the government. If you look it up, the only thing they did is stop Lebanon from moving forward for them to keep control. When you have people in motorcycles, all paid by the Islamic regime of Iran, they're all actually Chinese motorcycles. Actually, they're scooters. What they do to intimidate people, thousands of them go on their scooters and go to every single area in Beirut, let it be Christian, Sunnis, or whatever, to intimidate people that they are in control. This is what Hezbollah does. I've been insulted. I've been called names. I mean, really, truly names. I wouldn't even dare repeat them myself because I spoke my mind. Because I want Lebanon to have peace. I lived all my life, since I was at least 14 years of age, living in a state of war, always fighting for Lebanon, implicated in political, outside Lebanon, inside Lebanon, and recently again inside Lebanon and now on social media. I'm fighting for a neutral Lebanon. I'm fighting for Lebanon how it was before 1958, before we went into the Arab League. As soon as we went into the Arab League, shit started to happen. I want Lebanon to be out of the Arab League. I want Lebanon to become neutral, like Switzerland. Do what you want to do. I don't care. I'll keep your money. I'll take care of your money, but leave me alone. That's what I want. And I want an army to be strong to be able to defend Lebanon. I want the Lebanese army to be strong. On top of that, we have the commander in chief who refused to disarm Hezbollah. He took sides with Hezbollah. So I call him Rudolph, with the yellow and green nose, Haikal. Yep. And this is in any other country. This is considered as sedition and treason. You have a chain of command. The army is not a democracy. An army is part of a democracy or part of dictatorship, but it's not a democracy. You have orders, you have a chain of command, you have to follow the chain of command. Now, we know that part of the army are from the south, and they won't fight Hezbollah because sometimes the brother is in the army and the other brother is in Hezbollah. So these will split. And we have also what we call the FS, the Forces de Sécurité Intérieure, which is the internal security forces, which is kind of a police. And part of them also are from the south, and their family are or with Hezbollah or they're, as a police. So, of course, this caused a problem in Lebanon because we don't have a real army that is devoted only to Lebanon. This is how Hezbollah has demised Lebanon and weakened even more Lebanon. It's by being infiltrated everywhere. So any decision that the Lebanese state wants to take, it cannot take. And that's the problem. So anybody else that would tell me I am a traitor, I don't care. I heard that before. That I am, start with the SOB, up yours, and whatever. That's fine. Which means, my friend, if you say that, that means you don't have arguments, and I thank you for it. That means I have proven my point, and you haven't. So unless Mr. Guy Christensen, I hope this gets to him, I would like to have a one-on-one on him, one-on-one, not have a space, one-on-one with him. He can choose whatever platform, and we're going to talk about Hezbollah, Lebanon, and the Palestinians. Not Palestine, and the Palestinians. And let's see how much he knows about Lebanon. Let's see how many times he's going to make a mistake? Lebanon is my country. It's not yours. The Lebanese decide, not you, not Hezbollah. The Lebanese decide, not a militia. The Lebanese decide. Thank you very much.